In this mission, we're going to go see Vivi. So I'm going to first check my email, and we're going to get a message that we completed the last quest successfully. But why am I doing Vivi now? Well, I was doing it from memory. What are the quests that give me 3 points at one time? And that's what you have to have. When you get the special item, the enchanted item, from Pisha, the last one, anytime a quest gives you 3 or more XP, you get a bonus experience point. I thought that Vivi's quest gave me, at one time 3 XP, because you get like 9, almost 10 points of experience for her 2 quests, I guess. But you never get 3 at one time. So I can go and pick that up, and that's what I'm going to do. So, of course, I came here to check my computer, and yeah, I'm just checking my quests, and I'm going to go do the VV quest and get about 9 more XP, which is going to come real handy, and it's a pretty easy, it's not one quest, it's really 2. It's a pretty easy thing to do. You just have to remember to call her what she wants to be called. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting billboard, pretty interesting sign out front. Vesuvius. Okay, and I recommend coming in here and bumping into this girl. I think this is the same voice actor who does Heather, I think, who voices that character. I'm not sure. Anyway, Vesuvius, pretty famous. You have to be very careful in the dialogue. If you make one mistake, you don't get the quest reward item at the end, and it's really easy to do. So I recommend being extra careful, and there's a lot of dialogue. So we have to be very careful to ask her the most polite option in dialogue every step of the way, and we will get the bonus XP. Okay, there are a couple answers through every step of the way that are pretty rude. If you do any of those, you don't get the quest reward at the end. So, yeah, persuasion, we have it. It works. Yeah, I'm reading each one of these carefully, and yeah, I appreciate it. That's the nicest thing. Call me Velvet. Now, at this point, you have to call her Velvet every time there's an option. If you do anything other than Velvet, until she tells you that you have to call her something else, you don't get the reward. So Bloodlines is very, very picky about dialogue choices, which is why Malkavians are so tough to play. Yeah, what should I ask? Yeah, one option is slightly nicer than the other. You just want to be careful every step of the way. Yeah, she's also a Toreador, so you have to take that into consideration in the answers too. So, yeah, how to sum up what Toreadors are. Well, if you're playing this, you know what Toreadors are. So, yeah, and quite frankly, I want to take a fire axe to her head as I'm doing these dialogues. These Toreadors are just, they grate on my nerves. Be a vampire, you know, stop with this. But this is what Toreadors are. So, actually, the first time I ever saw someone, I've watched people play Toreadors before, but JT Corpse just did a playthrough of a Toreador, and I really enjoyed it, and it was the first time I thought I could actually play one for more than Santa Monica and enjoy it. Yeah, I chose the be back in a minute option. Okay, we got through that. I think all of them were correct, were the correct options. We come over here. This is like 3 steps. Lockpick the money. I have really high lockpick at this point, so it should be fine. Really high hacking. It should be very easy. This is intended that you actually do this at a lower level earlier in the game, and I'm pretty overpowered for this, but that's the secret, I think, is just be overpowered for everything you do. There's a watch there, don't forget about it. And then we're just going to shut down the peep show. Yeah, Control C. Yeah, I have a skill of 9, so yeah, this is really weird. I'm about to have a hacking skill of 11 at the end of this quest, believe it or not. So I've never had hacking of 11, so very cool. So we're going to go through this animation. Pretty cool the way it takes us back to the computer. It's all good. Okay, that's the second step. Now the third step is to go into this room. Oh, I always make sure, yeah, in the final nights there's a whole army in here that you get to deal with. And you still have to do it without being discovered or drawing attention to yourself. It's a lot harder to do this quest. Okay, the rooms are empty. We're good to go. Yeah, lockpicking difficulty of 5 was required. We have much better than that. Okay, now we need to persuade this woman to leave. And you want to get out of her way, because she will glitch out if you are in the way, and then she won't leave. Okay, now I'm going to suit up. Okay, I'm looking at this. We just got a brand new sword from the library, and it's really good. We could have melee combat of 9. That's because we don't want to draw any attention to ourselves. She's just a human. I could probably just kill her with my bare hands, but we've got this really cool broadsword. So let's go ahead and get blood buff up. And fortitude, I'm thinking about not using presence, but then I go ahead and go with presence. It's really overkill. 30 points of damage. Yeah, that was... and she did nothing. She did nothing. That's a Ventrue tank. Then I hit F8 to turn off all my disciplines. F8 is the key to turn off all your disciplines. And yeah, pretty easy. I think about feeding on this blood doll, but I'm not sure that I can feed on her because I'm a Ventrue. If you're anybody else, she's available for you to get some blood from. But there's plenty of blood in town, and so I'll just go feed on somebody else. Okay, so with everything up, I just did this separately. With everything up, I actually had melee of 9, defense of 11, but then I had +2 fortitude, so that's defense of 13. Lockpicking of 10, sneaking of 9, hacking of 9. Yeah, so with blood buff, that's what we have with our heavy armor on. So interestingly, the fortitude doesn't show up in my defense. It just shows me my combat defense. Yeah, and it would show pretty high soak and everything else too. So I want to take a look at the weapons. Damage potential of 39. I was doing in the 30s. Yeah, I was doing about 36 damage, about 75 per swing. So it would swing at her and then back, and it would be about 75 and hit her 3 times, and I think she was done. So she had a lot of health. I'm comparing the lethality. This has a higher lethality, even though it says its potential damage is slightly lower. But it's a good weapon. I think the katana is slightly faster. So armor rating of 3. Combat defense. Wits is actually at 6 right now. Yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, in short, the very short version is this is a really overpowered character right now. Blood buff, fortitude, presence, crazy OP. I hit F8 again and turned off everything, and we're ready to go. You must call her Velvet. If you do not call her Velvet, you will not get the prize. I actually write it down when she says call me Velvet. I write it down on a piece of paper, and yeah, that's... Okay, we just want to get out of here, start walking away so she can pull us back. Whatever is nice. You Toreadors, I bet you think you're deep. Okay, that's the wrong answer, but it's the one I want to give her. It's unfortunate it had to be this way. That's a Toreador. And it's so sickening sweet. The things I do for money. Yeah, I don't have time for this. We'll screw you up. I'd like to all night, but I'm afraid I have to go. That's the right answer. Now we just start to head out, and we get pulled back. Yep, a Toreador, so there has to be melodrama. Again, I'm being extra careful through this that I don't like fast track through this and accidentally choose the wrong response. Okay, her instructions are kill the traitor, the vampire, but do not touch David. So pretty straightforward. We have plenty of persuasion to pull this off. Yeah, I don't think asking more questions helps. And I think if you ask her, what's in it for me, she makes a blood doll available to you, but I don't want to feed on her blood dolls anyway. Plenty of blood in other places where I'm used to getting it. I'm not coming back to this club after I get out of here. So I'm trying to pick. The trick with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is to hit as many dialogue choices as possible to keep the dialogue going, and eventually you get to the right answer. Anything that's a shortcut usually gets you in trouble. Yeah, we got to the persuasion check, and we're in good shape. So we got 2 more XP. Yeah, all this XP is going to be really, really useful very soon. Okay, more XP, very good. And now we just go to Santa Monica. Yeah, there's no reason to go back and talk to Velvet. So we'll just go to Santa Monica and take care of this. Yeah, you can let him go, but I think it's a masquerade violation. I'm not sure. The easy way to do this is just kill him. Okay, we're going to use the broadsword again. I think if you just run up and fight him, he's pretty tough, but if you do the dialogue, he's not very tough at all. So blood buff, there really isn't a need for anything else. I could have used presence, but yeah, it's a much easier fight than the hunter. Oh yeah, the one of the best lines in the entire game is when Velvet says she's blonde on top. She emphasizes it. One of the best lines in the game. Yeah, killing him always feels So, while I'm here, I'm going to check. I always want to check with him to see if there are any weapons, nothing new. And this is what I do when I reload. In case anybody's curious, I want to have over 50%, maybe 75% full, in case I happen to stumble upon some weapons or ammo. So I'm taking a look at these. Yeah, they're about where I want them to be, but I could buy a few more. I have $3,900, $3,915. I know I have the Foo Syndicate coming up, so I might as well get ready for it. I'll have a chance in Chinatown to buy more if I really want to. But yeah, this should be more than enough. In fact, this will probably be enough to get me through the Foo Syndicate and yeah, and the quest after that too, Giovanni. The Giovanni fight is pretty tough. So come back here. Velvet is the right answer. Call me Vivi. Okay, from this point on, she's Vivi. Do it yourself, you pompous poser, toreador crybaby is the answer I want to give her, but you will not get the reward if you do that. Also, now that I think about it, she's probably a lot higher level than we are, so yeah, taking an axe to her head probably wouldn't work out very well. And we get her autographed photo. That is absolutely terrific. Thank you for an autographed photo. This is so nice, and after everything, this really means a lot to me. I'm going to hold on to this forever. This is just a memento of a very special person in my life who I always. How much you give me for it? Why do I still have those vacuum tubes? Yep, $396 gone. Okay, we're up to $4,200. So I think if I had one or two more perks, I usually have one or two more perks in finance, so I always get about $430 maybe. So if memory serves, I don't know why I have the vacuum tubes still in my possession. So $7. $43.62. We have a bunch of money. And we have really good weapons, good armor. Look at all those blood packs. Okay, I come back here just to check on Heather. I don't think she has anything that I have to do in dialogue, but I'm just here to check. Yeah. I'm just checking how many weapons I have. I just need an empty space to carry weapons that I pick up in case I want to sell them. So, Heather, nothing new. Oh, we got a poster. I can already see that. Yeah, I think if I go back, she might give me a blood doll, but again, I'm not sure I can even feed on her without throwing up. I did run a little experiment on rats. Rats gave me 0 blood. I'm just checking out the posters. But I didn't throw up feeding on the rats. It just gave me 0 blood. I fed on like 10 of them. It didn't throw up once. So it must just be blood from bums and prostitutes have a chance. I don't think it's 100%, but there's a percentage chance that a Ventrue will throw up. I thought when I fed on rats in previous editions of the Plus patch that I threw up, but no, didn't. So, okay, we're really getting insanely powerful. And there's very little I intend to buy. The 5th point in computer is a book, a computer book. That only cost me 6 points because of well-educated. The 5th point in computer is the book, which I have. I am going to buy that 5th point in perception, That Firearms is a book, and I think Dodge is also a book. So after I take the 5th point in Perception, I think everything else just gets dumped into Fortitude and Presence. So, yeah. Yeah, Firearms is a book. Let me double check. Dodge is a book. The Dodge book is in the Giovanni Mansion, and the Firearms book is in the Society of Leopold. Yeah. Melee combat is 7. Lockpicking of 8. Stealth of 7 with my heavy armor on. We're going to get the 5th point in Scholarship as the result of a conversation. So that only leaves, I think, if I'm doing this correctly, that only leaves Perception. Now that's 16 points. And then every point after that is Fortitude and Presence. We have 11 in Defense, and we're going to have 12 in Defense when we get the book. And then we'll have +4 because of armor. I think our level 5 armor will give us +4. That's 16. And man, if we can get 4 in Fortitude, we can get to 20. I thought we'd have 18 or 19, but we can get to 20 in Defense. So that's pretty amazing. So yeah, Dodge is a book. Yeah, we're just on a roll, man. This is just I mean, I'm looking at this, and we're 1 point away from getting Perception, and that's the last thing we have to spend in attributes and abilities, if I've done this correctly. And then everything dumps into Disciplines. Now, you know, that's a lot of points for Disciplines, but remember, we haven't done, we have a bunch of quests. We have Ash, we have the Hitman quest. That's a bunch of points. That's like 7. We have the Hengiyokai, and yeah, and we still have to do all the major, you know, the main quest line quests, and there's a bunch of those too. So yeah, we're in very, very good shape. I can't believe how powerful this character is right now. It's very cool. So thanks, and I'll see you next time.